Betor Kin to All, a brand new dragon from Tarkir Dragonstorm that's a 5/7 flyer for black, green, white, and two others that says at the beginning of your end step, if creatures you control have a total toughness of greater than 10, you draw a card. Then if it's greater than 20, you untap all your creatures. And then if it's greater than 40, each of your opponents loses half their life rounded up. I am Brian, the Unskilled Commander, and this is my brand new deck tech for Betor, Kin to All. I built this deck on Twitch with chat helping me, so it was a lot of fun, and the deck, means a little bit more to me because of that. They gave a lot of great suggestions, adding in cards while I was cutting 180 cards from what I had of my bulk, and we got it down to 100, and it actually works really well in the playtest. Using playtest on Moxfield, of course. Now that has no interaction, so we'll see what happens when it goes up against real people, but even so, the deck is really consistent. Around turn 9 or 10, you should be winning the game, because not only do you have toughness 40 or greater by that point, the creatures that are out, most of them have trample or something like flying, so that you're getting in on combat damage. So turn 9, you're hitting everybody for half their life total, they lose half their life, and then the next turn you swing in and finish them off. So let's check out exactly how that is. Now I'm not going to go through every single card. I will have the Moxfield link in the description below, so that you can go ahead and check it out at your leisure, but I'm going to call out some of the really powerful or really fun cards that help make up Betor. And please, by all means, leave some suggestions in the comments for this video. I'd love to see some new ideas, and maybe I'll switch some cards out for them. We've got one of the new cards from Dragonstorm, Canopy Gargantuan. 7-drop 7/7 with flying and ward 2 that says at the beginning of your upkeep, put a number of +1/+1 counters on each other creature you control equal to that creature's toughness. If you can get Canopy Gargantuan out and keep it out, you're going to be buffing up your other creatures huge within a matter of turns. You also want, obviously, some good card draw in there, so we have Beast Whisperer and things like Guardian Project, which we'll see down in the enchantments, and up the beanstalk as well, because you want that consistent card draw. But in terms of the creatures, again, we have Elvish Piper, which was a suggestion from chat. It's a 1/1 for 4, but you can pay a green, tap it, to put a card from your hand on the battlefield. That's a creature. No casting. You don't get any cast triggers, but you just put it on. You don't have to worry about how big it is. So now, that 7/7 we just talked about costs 1 mana if you have Elvish Piper out first. We also have Ghalta Primal Hunger. Its casting cost is less based on the total power of creatures you control. You're able to get a couple other big creatures out first. You're dropping this for 2. And it's a 12/12 with trample. Ovia Automech Artisan is a new one from Aether Drift, and it basically functions the same way as the Elvish Piper. Pay a green, tap it, you may put a creature or vehicle from your hand on the battlefield. If it's an artifact, it gets a +1/+1 counter, but I just like the fact that you can cheat out a creature for 1 mana. That's huge. We've also got a couple little guys in here like Managorger Hydra, can get big real fast and help out with that toughness, and has trample so you can get through, because everyone's always playing spells. They have to if they want to play the game. We've got Jared in there, which is fun for you can pay a green, black, and one other, and then sacrifice another creature, and each opponent loses life equal to the sacrificed creature's power. So, in a pinch, they blow up your commander. You've got Ghalta out. Use Jared's ability. Well, you're hitting everybody for 12/12 anyway. We've got Zopendril Hunger Dominus. This one, at the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. Betor's ability triggered at the beginning of your end step. This thing happens all the way through your end step, so the doubling of their power and toughness will be there for whenever you hit the beginning of the end step. So get this out, a couple of your big guys, boom, you're easily hitting 40 toughness. Of course, we have Tree of Perdition, which is a 0/13 defender, but the point is it's got a toughness of 13. There are other creatures that have 13 toughness as well. I didn't put them all in here because there were so many other really good creatures that I was able to choose thanks to chat's help. Those are just some of the really great creatures that were in here. Sorceries, nothing super special. We've got your normal Cultivate, Kadama's Reach, Rampant Growth, just to try and get some lands out quicker, because all these creatures have big powers, and if you're not getting those couple cheaty cards out, you need to make sure you have the mana to cast these. We got Ingaruk's Wake, which destroys all creatures you don't control and all planeswalkers you don't control. Late game, this is a great way that even if you don't have the commander out, but you have a couple big creatures, cast Garruk's Wake, everybody's open, you can swing in and take out at least 1 or 2 people. Also have an Overwhelming Stampede, because until end of turn, creatures you control gain trample and get +X/+X, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So now, let's say you have Ghalta out, all of your creatures are getting +12/+12, and they have trample. You pretty much win right there depending on how many creatures you have, and if not, that buff still goes till the end of turn, so you're getting the end step trigger. Instance, nothing super breathtaking here, but we got swords, Path to Exile, Nefarious Protection to try and keep yourself safe, Ink Shield, which is great because while it is a lot of mana, you're going to make a bunch of creatures, and those creatures will help with the toughness. There are only 2/1s, but if someone's swinging for a massive damage, you'll get a lot of them. Artifacts, these are mostly mana rocks with a couple of key ones in here. We've got Monster Manual, another spell that can help cheat out monsters for cheap. Pay 2 and tap it. You may put a creature card from your hand on the battlefield. And it's a 4-drop artifact. We also have the Great Henge because why wouldn't you? It's in green, and if you have it already, you'll want to put it in this deck. It's a high cost, but still it gets lessened by the power of your creatures. You gain life when you use it. And whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. So again, it's helping that toughness grow every time. And finally, with the enchantments, we've got Asceticism, because we want to protect all of our creatures, including our commander. Philosophication could probably come out for something a little better, but still, it's just fun. I would love to be able to play the +20/+20 onto something small like the Elvish Piper. So even if it taps, it's not a big deal. And you play it on after it's already been tapped to cheat out a creature, boom, pure value. But as I said, we've got Guardian Project, Garruk's Uprising, Phyrexian Arena, Up the Beanstalk, all to help you draw cards and get to these creatures and stuff faster. And Wound Reflection, which is a very important one for the deck because the commander only makes you lose life equal to half of it, rounded up. So it can't really take out a player. But with Wound Reflection out, you've got them. And then, of course, Unnatural Growth, which is a personal favorite. At the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. Just like the other one up above, it helps to increase the toughness of all your creatures, allows you to swing out better if you have the opportunity, and because you're going to have more than 20 toughness, all those creatures untap, which is essentially Vigilance, and you get the end step trigger. So there you go. A quick deck tech for Betor, kin to all. What do you think? Are you building a Betor deck? How are you building yours? I was thinking you could also do just a bunch of token generation, because if you have all of the white token doublers and then a bunch of your static buffs like Glorious Anthem and Gaia's Anthem from green, you could actually do like 10, 20 different tokens. Boom, suddenly you're hitting that 40 toughness. So it doesn't have to just be big green creatures coming through with trample. There's other ways to build this deck. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you can get more Magic the Gathering content, and check out my other socials, also in the description below. I'll see you next time.